Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where, in addition to having a bit of fun, and we'll get to that, I want to go through a lot of the feedback that you guys have given me which has really helped me to be a better player, such as the angle of attack being very important in tank and engineer fights, like so. So, the amount of people who've gone over this in the last week or so just goes to validate my confusion. Clearly I wasn't the only one. But there are one or two things in the first part of this video I want to add to the discussion which in good faith I haven't seen anyone else say. On the fundamentals though, I'm going to keep it brief because if you haven't seen it, for example, Marzipan Dan has done an amazing explanation on this. If you haven't seen this video, I highly recommend you watch it. I think it's the best one out there on the subject. So I see no reason to waste your time duplicating that. Go watch the master. Like I say, I'm going to concern myself in this video with the additional points I think I've got. And then in part 2, I'm going to have some fun with my favorite people, the IFV Laser Guided Missile Abusers. I think it's time we return the favor a bit. Can you boys spawn on me quickly so we can f him up?
What'll happen to him? Justice. Crime cannot be tolerated. Criminals thrive on the indulgence of society's understanding.
We can triple them, Lord.
But what about RPG?
Oh, he's far away. If he gets wind, we're here.
Got an enemy vehicle!
I'll hit him with the RPG.
Alright, well then tell me when you're going.
Right now. Amla. Spawn on you with the Amla. You freaking kidding me? Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah.
Don't forget to clean up any stragglers before the end. Right, as promised, let's go through the fundamentals of angle of attack to correct the record, but we'll keep it brief so we can get onto the new stuff. Now, when you hit a vehicle at a near 90-degree perpendicular angle, you do much higher damage than you otherwise would. One in the back. I got his engine bay. But hitting a weaker part of the vehicle at a much sharper angle does less damage. Only 176 damage, and again when the IFV rolls in you'll see going back to the 90-degree angle my damage numbers go back up again. So what we learnt right there then is the angle of attack is more important than hitting the weak spot. Let's take a look at an RPG, same issue. Only 158 damage, and you're about to see I get exactly the same result when I go back and try again. Now, when I fire an RPG at a perpendicular angle, the true 90 degree like you're seeing here, you see it's perfectly lined up for 90 degrees. Much better result, although in fairness that was an IFV and the previous vehicle was an MBT. Now, shooting top down when it's a true top down strike like this obviously gives you a massive damage boost, we know this. But what's interesting is even if you hit the top from an angle, not even a particularly aggressive angle like you're going to see here, you don't get any damage multiplier. Take a look at this and you'll see what I mean.
Oh, they push me from behind.
So you can see I'm lined up nicely for the top. Again, only 158 damage because the angle was too aggressive. As I'll show you now to make the point, and also because it's a cool clip, if you hit an MBT truly top down, you get a much higher number.
But it's not going well.
So what do we conclude from this? Well, I think it's fair to say that the angle of attack is actually more important than where you hit the vehicle. Let it pass, let it pass, let it pass. Right, go for the engine bay, go for the engine bay. Just keep in mind it can be a little bit temperamental as you've seen from these two shots, which from my point of view are identical, but one got the multiplier, one didn't. Now for me, this is where it gets interesting. I noticed something when I was playing around with these MBT battles. When you're in a head-to-head fight, if you can just catch the tippy top of the turret, just right there, right at the very top, you can get a really nice damage multiplier. For example, that hit there was aligned to an RPG top-down strike on an MBT, and this one here is very much aligned to a top-down strike on an IFV. If you can get into the habit of scanning for the very top of the MBT in a head-to-head fight, you can end the clash quite quickly actually. Ignore that first one, that was me just throwing away the heat round.
Spawned out of zone. That's insane.
Now even though I think I had some help there, that was much quicker than just sinking shots into the front armor. Let's take a look at another example, and I genuinely think this is correct. Again, I just need to throw away the heat round at the beginning and switch to APFSDS.
I never submitted for leave.
Again, I had help, but hey, this is Battlefield. But hopefully the point is made. I have heard legend that if you can hit the track, particularly of an Abram, you can get some kind of super critical damage, like this area here. I'm yet to see it, but that doesn't mean it isn't true. I just haven't been able to replicate it. Now, one of the things I would like to dive into based on your feedback is the argument, I think, that the APFSDS rounds are actually better than the TOW missile. And there's a few reasons for this. First, we now know, we didn't at the time, but now we do, that APFSDS rounds bypass APS. There you go, there's a little green light in the sky. And that's a big plus, I think, over the TOW missile. Next, the speed of the projectile and the real precision, real super accuracy is a huge win, particularly when we get to the next point. It lets you pick out the weak spots and confidently hit super tight angles like this one here to finish off. Now, putting all this together, the knowledge of angles, the range and accuracy, the APFSDS round can absolutely dominate in long-range fights like this.
It didn't come back as a...
Contact! Enemy tank!
It would have been better to come back as support, wouldn't it? And then you could take the kit. Oh, that's not you boys there.
Nice.
Clean house, lads. Now, regarding the attack helicopters, a lot of you guys pointed out the reason why I wasn't able to down it is because even though the improved armor perk says it's only meant to protect the helicopter against small arms fire, it does actually protect it against all damage. Now, to keep this fun, I'm not going to rant. I mean, I'm a little bit confused that it's 2 hits from a tank shell and only 1 from the far easier weapon to hit an attack heli with. Just for fun, I did ask ChatGPT what is the difference in energy output from an APFSDS round and an RPG, and could an Apache survive being hit by one, and it told me this.
Not scientifically possible!
Anyway, 2 taps it is, now we know, and no need to keep talking about it. Case closed. And finally, I love the APFSDS because you can snipe infantry players. I think this reason's more an excuse to just put in a funny clip about a guy who thought he was playing Metal Gear. Okay, look, don't make me the bad guy here. If you're gonna hide, at least switch off the laser designator, yeah?
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
I still chuckle watching that. Please take it with the humor it's intended. I'm not trying to pick on anyone. Right, IFV Abusers. Now, at the time of making this video, we got the news that the missile has been suspended. However, that does not excuse the abusers of it for the last 3 weeks, and I want to close the whole issue by sharing this footage from when Captain and I were just pushed too far one night.
You shouldn't have did that.
We decided it was time to do what engineers were put here to do.
So somebody, somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. And you know what? We're winning. Sorry. I was put here by people. I was put here by people to do a great job. And that's what I'm doing. And nobody's done a job like I've done.
Obviously, guys, no politics. I just saw that joke on this guy's page at NTQ, and I just thought it fitted so well, so I threw it in. But yeah, for the rest of the round, no flair, no exuberance. Captain and I just deleted every IFV we could find. And if you were watching the score, you'll see that we actually pulled back the round and won. Once we got our attack helicopter safely back in the air, it very quickly changed.
Delta has been lost.
MBT leading with us. Eyes to the IV.
I got eyes on enemy vehicle.
The nightmare is over, but pilots know that we were always there for you.
I never said thank you. And you'll never have to.
So good this nonsense is over. Right. Thank you very much for your attention if you made it this far. I hope I haven't wasted 10 minutes of your life. Just as a quick look ahead, on the next video, I want to take a look at other launchers, particularly MLAW and Javelin, to see if there's any entertainment or use case-based reason to not pick the RPG, which is clearly the most overpowered weapon in the game right now. And there are genuinely a few, for example, being able to fire from the back of a Black Hawk helicopter. Anyway, Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for your attention as always, and thanks for all the support for the channel. It's been a great last couple of videos. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.